Claim there. Good morning, everyone. I'm Chris Gutierrez.
I'm Susan Carlson. We're also seeing a lot of fog out there, and that could make your commute a little bit longer. Visibility is reduced. Let's check traffic and weather together. Here's Megan and Derek.
Combined issues this morning, all due to some somewhat spring-like weather we saw yesterday with milder temperatures creating snow melt, and that really made for an issue. Thing that you're going to find north of the city and also west of the city in the area specifically under the dense fog advisory will be a little bit worse in terms of the visibility you'll find out there, and that advisory is up until 7 a.m. this morning. Visibility is reduced all the way down to a quarter of a mile at Aurora, half mile DeKalb, a mile and 3/4 at Peru. A little bit better, you get closer to the lake. Waukegan at 8. O'Hare coming in with visibility that's just fine at 10 miles. Have a little bit of light drizzle out there this morning that'll turn over to some flurries by the second half of the day today. That
dreary day and a Monday to boot.
Yeah, I know. Look at that combination. Stellar out there today with a little bit of light drizzle too, and we see that generally south and west of the city. Heavier rains already pushed on off to the east. A little bit of snow lurks back to the west, and this is the next weather maker for us. Not necessarily in terms of precipitation, but the change in air mass from a nice mild air that we had yesterday and this morning to the colder stuff we're going to see a little bit later on today that will change that drizzle over to a possibility of a light snow. It's not really going to be anything that'll accumulate, but as we put this futurecast model into motion, you can see the fog out there this morning. You can also see a little bit of light rain turning over to a little bit of light snow tonight and going into
right now. You think flooding's going to continue to be a problem this week?
I do, at least for a few days' time, because what we've got is snow melt in addition to the rain that we had yesterday and a little bit of light drizzle today. Now, here's the good thing. We're going to see the temperatures dropping off a little bit, but they'll still stay above freezing. So snow through the course of the next couple of days, if it hasn't melted already, will continue to do so. We also have a dense fog advisory out there this morning, north and west of the city. That's up until about 7 a.m. this morning for visibility that's greatly reduced in spots down to a quarter of a mile in Aurora, half mile at DeKalb. So you're going to need to take your time. Visibilities are not great out there. Temperatures are already dropping. We had upper 40s. Now we're to the mid 40s at Midway, low 40s for O'Hare. Still hanging in the upper 40s there for Gary and Valparaiso. We will be exchanging our mild air mass and our light drizzle for a colder air mass with a little bit of light flurry activity by the second half of the day today. And it's all as a cold front comes on through, slicing through the warmer air, slicing through the fog, but bringing about the potential for a bit of flurry activity going into the second half of today as those temperatures continue to drop. We're going to sort of visibility is a problem this morning. Light drizzle turning over to maybe some light flurries by the afternoon. Proof positive we're going to undergo an air mass change.
Yep, and I have an expressway completely shut down. Lansing, Northwest Indiana traffic both affected. We'll take a look coming up.
Here's Megan and Derek.
And we have some fog out there this morning, Dave. We also have a little bit of light drizzle activity as temperatures are really very mild to start, but this is the warmest part of the day right now, so get outside. 30s, so it is not as mild as it once was out there already. Colder air mass lies back to the west, and it's going to slowly charge in today, replacing the drizzle with some flurries. And right now, the drizzle is enough to make for some slick roadways, generally south and west of the city. But the fog, that's our main problem out there.
6:39 now. Traffic and weather together. Some portions of our viewing area dealing with a dense fog, right, Meg?
Dense fog, mainly north and especially west of the city, where we've got that advisory up until 7 a.m. It's for all the counties shaded in the gray color up there, and it's generally because visibility is very reduced out in those areas, down to a quarter of a mile in Aurora, very close to that at DeKalb. It's a little better if you get around O'Hare and or Midway. And what we've got is also a little bit of light drizzle that's generally leading the charge this morning, but back behind it, much colder air is created snow for central parts of Iowa. This may be working in our general direction.
Traffic and weather together. Nobody liked losing that hour, but it was kind of nice that it was so light last night.
Pleasantly surprised how easy it was to wake up. I'm thinking it's going to hit us tomorrow.
Probably.
Maybe, but yes, you did get a chance to enjoy that extra hour, which is... And then, of course, we've got that spring forward thing for you to enjoy next couple of days before you get used to it. 46 degrees at Midway right now, 48 for Gary, 47 Valparaiso, just 37 for Waukegan, only 35 degrees around DeKalb. We're going to see temperatures dropping off now throughout the day. You're at your mildest point in the morning. We have a little bit of light rain to go with those semi-mild temperatures around Joliet, and a few approaching the city right now. Some showers back between Rockford and DeKalb. And generally it's light rainfall, but that light rain chance will shift over to some flurries before the day is done. And that's because the nice warm air mass we've got in play is going to be replaced by a colder one that's working in from the west. Don't expect to see real organized snowfall, but you could find some flurries out there. And that cold front coming through will slice through that fog that we've got this morning and leave us with some flurries into the second half of the day today. So again, you're at your mildest point right now. Temperatures settle in the upper 30s a little later on with the drizzle turning. Right. The big problem, and good morning to you both, was the fact that we had the snow melt in addition to the rain that we picked up yesterday, and yet temperatures that were mild enough that it all just continued to run off into rivers that then some overflowed their banks. At this point, the radar picture showing most of the rainfall has pushed on off to the north and east of us. There is more moisture back to the west, but it's of a different variety. It's of the frozen variety. Temperatures are actually 10 degrees colder now than they were at 4 o'clock this morning. They're dropping off. 39 degrees for Midway, 38 for O'Hare, 39 Waukegan, 34 degrees for Aurora. Big picture is going to show you, though, there is some snow back on off to the west, and we may see some flurries a little later on today. More on your full forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Megan. You can stay up to...
Those are really cool.
Thank you, Harry. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Huh?
We
How's
need
the
a
weather?
miniature weather forecast.
How about a full-size one? Because
Okay.
that's all
Thank
I got for you. Mini ones, it's kind of cloudy. Full size has a little more information to it. Let's get to that. By the way, if you were wondering, the sun came up this at just 39 degrees Midway, 38 O'Hare, 39 Waukegan, 33 degrees for DeKalb. If you look at the radar picture, you will find that we are going to have basically a little bit of light drizzle activity, but as temperatures drop, that may change over to some light snow flurries before wrapping up a little later on today. I do not expect to see any accumulation, but within some of this moisture here, as it moves in our direction and temperatures continue to drop, flurries are a distinct possibility for you. Now, we had fog this morning. That was clear to anyone who traveled out and about, especially the western and northern burbs. Still have some flooding on area rivers due to the snow melt and the rain from yesterday, but it's all going to be improving. First of all, the temperature should be dropping off throughout the day, and secondly, we're seeing that cold front cutting through a good majority of the moisture, leaving us with just some flurries for the second half of the day today. So we go from drizzle to flurries, but with a southwesterly wind that could be a little breezy and temperatures dropping, we get down to about 39 and we stay there. That's about where we are.